Hey Graham,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going good, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's nearly the weekend, so I'm always good.
It's all good.
Excellent. So yeah, Alexander and Earl, I don't know where to start really. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Um, 50 years. It's first of all, congratulations. It's an incredible achievement to have a career that long.
Thank
Um,
you.
just
Thank
just
you,
go
man.
just going back to the start. I mean, what was your ambition when you started out?
Well, actually, when I started out, I didn't know what what my ambition was.
Yeah,
I was just doing something, just singing in local bands and singing around the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and just starting out, just actually having fun.
yeah,
And until I decided at some point in time that I was going to get serious about it, that this is something that I really wanted to do. And I get serious and I started looking toward getting a national recording contract. Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, what was that? What was the kind of point where you decided you wanted to take it seriously? Was there a kind of trigger moment?
Well, really after I got hired to be a lead singer for a band called The Time by Prince. I got hired and I got fired at the same, almost at the same time, you know. And so after that experience with Prince and Flight Time and The Time and that whole thing, I decided no more bands. I didn't
Right.
want to be a part of any more bands. I said I don't want to have no band.
Yeah.
I want to be a solo artist, and I either make it as a solo artist or I don't. And
Right.
so took about 5 more years, and finally I got a chance to, to show my stuff.
Okay. I mean, what did you learn through those 5 years? What was the most important lesson you learned?
Well, patience, you
Right.
know, being patient and persistent. I mean, I was very, you know, I was very adamant that I was gonna get this record deal,
Yeah.
and I knew there was a combination of things every year that you have to do. And more important, you got to put the work in. You got to be deserving
Yeah.
of it. It's something about karma, man. It's something about that type of thing. You got to be worthy, and that's what I put that work ethics inside of my desire, and it came how it happened.
Yeah, it's obviously worked out for you. I mean, just going back prior to that though, what kind of took you into music in the first place? I mean, did you have a kind of musical upbringing, or who were the artists
Well,
that kind of
I
changed your
I,
life?
I always was very shy. In reference to singing, I was shy,
Yeah.
and definitely musical people. We have a lot of great singers in my family, so I heard a lot of singing around the
Right.
family. Uh, I just sometimes it's music is not just my destiny, but it's my calling as well. It's what I do. It's what
Yeah.
I was meant to do. So once I realized that, oh wow, I was looking for a career, and the career was already inside of me. So I just had to wake that sleeping giant, right?
Yeah.
And so I did that, got serious about music, and then I put all my time and made music a priority.
Yeah. I mean, what changed then for you? I mean, what was different about doing music when it became, obviously, I don't want to use the word hobby, but when it became a full-time career, what changed?
Ah, responsibility. Okay.
Yeah.
The responsibility of what you do all the time. You're always under some type of microscope
Yeah.
when you become a product of the public. And basically that's what you give up when you get a record deal. You are a product of the public.
Yeah.
And so you have to answer to that. And so that changed. You couldn't just do whatever you want to do, be anything you want to be. Uh, your position pretty much uh, defined, who you had to be.
Yeah. I mean, just the music industry, those are. I mean, as you'll know, it's a brutal, it's an unforgiving industry. What kept you going though through 50 years? I mean, there must have been some tough times as well as the good times. What was the driver for you?
Well, I definitely think my spirituality has a lot to play with it. My beliefs. I believe in God, and I try to, as much as I can, as hard as I can, to keep establishing that relationship.
Yeah.
And, I believe that God gives to who he pleases to give to, and that he gave me an opportunity to do that. And the old saying is, "To whom much is given, much is expected." So, uh, through all of my ups and downs in the music industry through life, I would have to say my relationship with God would be the main thing that's keeping Alexander O'Neal going.
Okay. Okay, just looking forward then. Obviously, we've got the farewell tour coming up. I heard the shows are going to be particularly special this time. What are you expecting from the shows and the audiences and the fans and the reactions?
Wow, man, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very excited to do the farewell tour. I put this 48 years of been in the music industry, and it is time to say goodbye. I want to
Right.
see if there's some other things that I can do with my life, that I always wanted to do. So, especially spend time with family and the whole nine yards.
Right.
As far
Okay.
as the tour is concerned and the show is concerned, they can look forward to a great night. I got an 11-piece band. Make sure that we're gonna have a wonderful time. A lot of R&B music, a lot of the hit records that I've been a part of. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I've read the press release that came with the tour news. Said that no fan's going to leave without a tear in their eye. Looking back over your career, is there anything that brings a tear to your eye particularly?
uh
Especially
nothing brings a
preparing
tear.
these shows.
Nothing really brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
But I do want to say one thing. I'll just take the time and thank all of my fans out there for coming to the shows and buying my records and buying my music over the last 30 some years.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I, everybody in America know I have a special passion for the UK,
Right.
especially England, you know, and because the fans have been so loyal, they grow up with you and they also grow older with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, uh, you know, my fans always come to my shows, still coming out. And I just want to give them, because when I do a showgram, I do it with my fans in mind. And
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to coming out and playing some of the hit records, some of the songs that they can remember from when back in the day.
Brilliant. Okay. I mean, just looking forward then. What's the first thing you'll do after that last show when you come off stage?
Go to sleep. No, uh, I don't know. Probably go. What I normally do is go out to dinner, especially if I'm somewhere like London or somewhere place like that. I go to dinner, a late dinner, and just kind of have a couple of drinks and so celebrate that way. Yeah.
Definitely. What about the morning after then when you wake up and you realise that's it, it's a new chapter for you? What do
Well,
you
the
think's going to go
morning
through
after
your
I don't wake up. The morning after that is my
mind?
sleep time. I sleep all
Uh,
day and up all night. So it's
yeah.
a bit typical music industry lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, you've just talked then about, you mentioned earlier about you're looking forward to what's next for Alexander O'Neill. I mean, what is next? I mean, where do you see your life going after this?
Well, I have to find that out. I
Yeah,
got to take some time to try to find that out. After 48 years in the industry, on the road all the time, working all the time, having this hectic schedule, uh, I have to see which way I want to go. But there's certain things, definitely want to spend more time with my family. I got grandkids now.
yeah,
I'm pushing 70 this year, Graham.
right.
And so uh, it's time for me to do something else. And I've had a wonderful life and a wonderful I've been very blessed in my life. So now I just want to try to get the rest of the time and just enjoy myself. After 48 years of work, I think I deserve that.
Yeah, but after 48 years, it must have been 48 years with some really proud moments. I mean, what are those proud moments that really stick out for you that you'll
Well, I
send
think
to your
the
grandkids
proudest
about?
thing, the proudest thing that sticks out with me is my 6 sellout nights at Wembley Arena
Yeah, yeah,
in London. That was the biggest thing. I still get a buzz on that.
yeah.
That's enough to buzz you up for a lifetime. I think that's one of my biggest live performances accomplished. Did a lot of live shows all over the world, different things, but as far as me enjoying it the most, I think that was it.
Yeah. I mean, what will you take away from the last five decades? I mean, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about the industry and about you as a person?
I learned that regards to what you accomplish in life, what you achieve in life, that life goes on, you don't.
Yeah.
Life will be here long when we're all in the dust and in the bone. So I've learned to get the best, try to get the best out of life each and every day.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the music industry's changed dramatically over the last. Well, I mean, it's changed dramatically every year, but for artists these days, there's very few artists that have that kind of longevity that the artists like yourself have had. I mean, firstly, what do you put that longevity down to? You know, 5 decades is a huge career. What do you put that down to?
Uh, Having great producers, having great songwriters, but also being loyal to your fans.
Right.
I think that being loyal to your fans is one of the most keys things you do. And always know that you have a responsibility. They didn't give it to you, but it just came naturally. You have a responsibility to your fans. So go out and I try to always be loyal to my fans. So I think that's one of the biggest keys.
Okay. I mean, what advice would you give to an up and coming artist these days? Somebody
I
started.
would I would probably tell an up and coming artists is to uh put your priority in perspective, but also, you know, one thing that I've noticed that I must speak on is that the new artists, and it's a young person's game, the music
Right.
industry these days. So you're coming up, but be responsible for your lyrical contents of the music because you got a lot of people that you influence. There's
Yeah.
a lot of kids that are coming up and they're influenced by you. So be responsible enough to lead them down the right avenue.
Definitely brilliant. I mean, just looking back then, I mean, just to wrap up, 50 years, how would you sum it up?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a journey, a great time, and and I don't. If, my fans. To be honest with you, dog, my fans in the UK and in England told the whole world who Alexander O'Neal is and who he's gonna be. For that, you guys, I thank you so much. I love you.
Brilliant. And I was just going to say, just as a wrap up, then, have you got any message for those fans? I mean, some of those will have kids coming to the shows. Some of those will have grown up with you, got
I
married.
just, I just want to say I want to thank all of my fans in the UK and in England for coming out over the years, buying my records, coming to the concerts, coming to the shows. And it's been a wonderful time. You give me so much love, and you gave me the opportunity to give you love back. So come on out to the shows and have a great time for the Alexander O'Neal farewell tour because you know what, Graham? It really is time to say goodbye.